Good morning, Year 4. Welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. These are the questions from yesterday, the answers. Pause the video in a second and look through your questions. If you've not already marked them, you can purple polish them. Bearing in mind that the main point of the lesson was understanding that 1 kilometre is the same as 1,000 metres, and you need to use that information to help convert between kilometres and metres or metres to kilometres and metres. So for example, in this question, 1,735 metres, I know that 1,000 metres is the same as 1 kilometre. So I partition the 1,735 metres because there aren't enough metres in this part to make a kilometre, whereas I have 1,000 which I can convert to 1 kilometre. So I know that 1,735 metres is the same as 1 kilometre, 735 metres. In this example here, 5 kilometres, 505 metres, where I've got to convert to metres, again, I partition. And I know that 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres, therefore 5 kilometres is 5,000 metres, and then I add the 505 metres on to give me 5,505 metres. So hopefully you managed that, okay? If you were struggling with that, you've got anything wrong, it might be worthwhile just writing a note at the top to say that 1 kilometre equals 1,000 metres, just as a reminder. And then you can purple polish your answers. If there's any problems, please do go onto the blog and leave a message for me there and I can get back to you. And then you had some more problems that you had to work. This time we were going back to the previous day's learning where we also had centimetres and metres, remembering that 100 centimetres is the same as 1 metre. So again, check your answers. If you've got anything wrong or you made any mistakes that you can't understand where you've gone wrong, please do let me know. So today's lesson, we are learning to understand kilograms and grams. Now we have covered this just like the rest of the units of measure. We did cover this in year 3. So hopefully this will be more like a refresher lesson for you. Today we're looking at kilograms and grams, and we need to remember that the kilogram, which we abbreviate to kg in brackets, and gram, which we abbreviate to g, are units of mass. So we use them for weighing items. We know that 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. Now I'd like you to have a look at this balance here. We've got some grapes on that we're finding the mass. It's really important that we pay attention to all the different markings to see what they represent on this weighing scale. So I can see that it starts at 0, it moves round to 1 kilograms, 2 kilograms, 3 kilograms, and all the way round to 4. We need to pay close attention to the markings in between the 0 kilograms and the 1 kilogram so that we can work out what each of the smaller markings stands for. So I know that I've got 10 of them up to 1 kilogram. I also know that 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. So if I divide that 1,000 into these 10 units, I know that each of these smaller markings stands for 100 grams, and we can check 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 1,000 grams, which is the same as 1 kilogram. Now it's really important as we go through today's lesson that you pay close attention to what all of the markings on each of the scales represents, because it won't always be 1 kilograms here. You'll see as we go through the lesson. So here is another scale, and this is used to find the mass of items that are lighter. So we would measure items with a mass of less than 1 kilogram on this scale. You can see it starts at 0 and it goes to 250, then 500, 750, and then 1 kilogram. So we need to work out what each of the smaller markings represents. Well, I can see that I've gone up to 250 here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the red markings to get there. I know that 250 divided by 5 is 50. So each of these red markings on the scale represents 50 grams. And then to get to each of these, there are 5 steps. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So each of the small markings represents 10 grams. And then we get to 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 with those red markings. So you might want to pause the video, have a look at your scale. Hopefully you've managed to print that out, or you can zoom in on the video and just pause the video, have a look so that you can understand why each of those small markings stands for 10 grams. And then I'd like you to have a look at this question. So the carrots have a mass of 600 grams, and we can see that it's the same scale. We've got 600, 650, 500, apologies, 500, 550, 600. And we want to know what the mass of the pumpkin is. So pause the video and have a go at looking at the scale here, seeing if you can work out what the mass of the pumpkin is. Hopefully you were able to recognise that the needle has gone all the way around, past the 750, past 800, and the mass of the pumpkin is 850 grams. Well done. Now here is another scale. If you look, it's different. This is a scale that's used to find the mass of items that are heavier. So we're working in bigger masses here. We've got 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 3 kilograms and 4 kilograms. And if I work out that up to 1 kilogram, we've got 10 little markings. That means that if I divide a kilogram, which is 1,000 grams, by 10, each of the smaller markings represents 100 grams. And we can check 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. And of course, 1,000 grams is the same as 1 kilogram. So let's have a look at the melon. The melon has a mass of 1 kilogram, 500 grams. And we can see it's gone past the 1 kilogram, and then each of these represents 100 grams. So 1 kilogram, 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, 400 grams, and it's pointing at the needle is pointing at this mark here, which represents 1 kilogram, 500 grams. Let's have a look at the mass of the potatoes. It's gone all the way around past the 2 kilogram, and it's moved 1 marking beyond. Now we know that each of these smaller markings stands for 100 grams. So the mass of the potatoes is 2 kilograms, 100 grams. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video, have a go at finding the mass of each of these items by reading the scales. You will have to check what each of the smaller measurements represents. All the scales are different, so just take your time to understand what each means before you write down the mass. You will notice that this scale shows kilograms, but you're asked to give the mass of the pineapples and the melon in grams, so you will need to convert between kilograms and grams to grams. Pause the video and have a go at that. So hopefully you were able to work out that this bag of apples weighs 600 grams. You would have worked out that each of the small markings was 10 grams, and we have 500, 550, 560, 70, 80, 90, 600 grams. The cabbage is on a different scale. We have 1 kilogram, and each of these markings represents 100 grams because there are 10 up to 1 kilogram. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 grams. And then the pineapple and the melon were on scales which showed the weights in kilograms, and you were required to put them into grams. So we have 3 kilograms. Each of these represents 100 grams. So I know the pineapple is 3 kilograms, 1, 2, 3, 400 grams. 3 kilograms 400 grams is equal to 3,400 grams. And hopefully you were able to work out that the melon was 5,600 grams. If you weren't sure about any of these, pause the video again, have a look, purple polish, and then maybe just look at the scales again to see if you can work out the measurements. So here we have a couple of examples where we are converting between kilograms and grams into grams. The mass of a bag of potatoes is 1 kilogram, 250 grams. What is the mass of the bag of potatoes in grams? So it's really useful at this point again to remember that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So if I have 1 kilogram, 250 grams, I know that my 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. I still have another 250 grams. So I add those two together and I know that 1 kilogram, 250 grams is the same as 1,250 grams. Here I have the weight already in grams and I need to convert that back to kilograms and grams. So just like I know that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams, I also know that 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. So therefore, if I have 3,000 grams, I know that that will equal 3 kilograms. So I've partitioned 3,450 into thousands because I know that I need thousands to make kilograms. And I have 450 grams. There's not enough there to make a kilogram. So once I've converted 3,000 grams into 3 kilograms, I add the 450 grams back onto that. Therefore, I know that 3,450 grams is the same as 3 kilograms, 450 grams. So there are some questions for you to do in exactly the same way. You're partitioning the amounts from kilograms and grams and converting it into grams and vice versa. And then you've got some masses here where you're asked to do the same. If you need to write it out using these steps, please do so, or you may want to have a go at doing a straight conversion. Pause the video, take your time to read the questions properly and go through each step, and then we'll go through the answers in a second. So here are the answers. Hopefully you were able to go through these questions and the steps just as we had done in these examples. Converting 8 kilograms 450 grams into 8,405 grams using the steps, and likewise 5,805 grams to 5 kilograms 805 grams, again using the steps. Now well done if you were able to do these just by doing a straight conversion, but equally if you did it in the same steps as these questions and you got the answers correct, well done. If you didn't manage to do these all, it might be worth just purple polishing and going back, doing it in this step. So breaking it down, 6 kilograms is the same as 6,000 grams and adding on the 921. So here are the questions for today. You've got some weighing scales where you've got to write the mass of the items. Pay close attention to the different units on the scales. You've got to convert some masses from kilograms and grams into grams and vice versa, just as we've just completed some examples. The same with these. And then in this question, the children are holding a mass in grams and you have to match them up with the bag with the same mass in kilograms and grams. Good luck with that. Pause the video and complete all the work. And if you want to check your answers now, I will put the answers up in a second, or we will also go through them tomorrow. Good luck.